President Bola Tinubu is expected to present the 2026 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly today. This was conveyed in a letter addressed to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and read during Thursday's plenary. According to the letter, the President proposed to present the budget to the joint session of the Assembly, although the proposed timing sparked concerns among some lawmakers who noted that the time coincided with the Muslim prayers and urged that the schedule be reconsidered. Senator Akpabio agreed to consult with the President on the matter. In the 2026 to 2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper currently under consideration by the House, the total size of the proposed budget is 54.46 trillion naira, out of which 34.33 trillion is expected as retained revenue. All right, let's explore this further. Vice President, Nigeria Irish Business Association, Aliyu Audu, joins me on the news for more insight on the 2026 budget. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. On the subject of the budget, let's start with the 2025 budget before we even move to the 2026. I just want to get your thoughts on how well the 2025 budget was implemented.
Well, I believe it's the usual thing that has been happening. The 2025 budget has not been fully implemented. I think it's, as of the last time I counted, it was about 50 or 60% implemented. So there's still a lot to go. So the budget has not been fully implemented. That is the 2025 budget.
Now, in terms of the key areas that the presidency was going to focus on, and I'm just going to look at them. There was defense and security, and that got 4.91 trillion naira. There was infrastructure that got 4.06 trillion naira. Education got 3.52 trillion naira. Health 2.48 trillion naira. And agriculture was also one of the key areas. In all of this, where did you think that the presidency focused on more, and where did they miss? Or what did they miss?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? The line went off.
I was asking you because there were the key priority areas for this administration when it comes to the 2025 budget was defense and security, infrastructure, education, health, and agriculture. And I was saying that in terms of, you have said it's 60% implementation. Where did they get it right and what did they miss?
Well, let's look at the area of agriculture because first of all, we are looking to be a very dependent economy. In the areas of agriculture, we are not doing so well in that regard, in terms of agriculture, manufacturing, so on and so forth. And what it is garbage in, garbage out, is what you put into agriculture, what you put into manufacturing, and these other areas that you will get out. And we have so far not allocated much into agriculture. So we are not expecting much to come out of it either. Now, the issue of security, I think, is much more recently that we are getting a hang of it. It has been a disaster in the past 8 months. Nothing has really, there hasn't been that much of a progress. But recently, after the change of the, I think the Minister of Defense, I think things are looking better and Nigeria are hoping for the best. So there's still a lot of performance that need to occur in various sectors, especially agriculture, because we're trying to move from a consuming country to a manufacturing country. Agriculture, solid minerals, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, so on and so forth. So
especially in terms of food sufficiency and security, I guess that you will also touch on that. But because of time, I wanted to quickly take you to the 2026 budget, which the president will be presented today. Just looking at the figures, it is 54.46, proposed budget is 54.46 trillion naira. Out of that, you will have 34.33 trillion naira. It's so much of an increase. We will get the details much later in terms of all of the figures, what we're looking at in terms of revenue, and then the benchmark for oil. But I'm wondering, do we have, in terms of our revenue now, how do you think we can fund a budget of this size?
Well, I think the revenue is about 30 billion thereabout, and we are borrowing about 17 or 20 billion. So we still have a long way to go. That means we are borrowing almost half the size, should I say 80%, 40% the size of the budget. And that is not good. We should look for other income streams in terms of different areas that we have not exploited. As I said, we have a lot of leakages in the economy. Agriculture is not well developed. Our tax system is also not well developed. So these are various areas we can look at in terms of raising revenue. The issue of always borrowing, looking into borrowing, we're borrowing about 17 to 20 trillion naira. That's a lot of money to borrow, especially when we have a budget of about 54 billion. And that means we are borrowing 40% of it. So it's very important we look for ways to generate revenue and increase our income. And we should look inwards, especially if we start looking into the real sector of the economy, agriculture, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ode, I have 30 seconds, and I wanted to ask you, next year, the tax, because you mentioned tax, the tax system will take a different structure. I'm wondering if that would help in terms of revenue to fund the budget.
Maybe. When I talk about tax, I want a progressive tax system. I want the people that earn more money to be taxed. I just don't want every Nigerian being taxed. I don't want people on this, people that are struggling, small SMEs struggling to make a living being taxed. I want the big corporations properly taxed, like the multinationals, like the Dangotes, so on and so forth. That is what I'm talking about. And we can generate a lot of revenue if we follow that system of taxing. Right now, the tax is about 5% of our GDP. That is not good enough. Most economies, the tax system should be about 25% of GDP. And that is where we should be heading. I've not fully studied the new taxing system, and I hope it meets to that threshold. Thank you very much.
We'll get more details as the president make their presentation today. Thank you so much for your time. Vice President, Nigeria Irish Business Association, Aliyu Audu.
Thank you.